Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and I'm super excited today to show to you a couple of error coins that I purchased from a customer who's actually a coin roll hunter. Congratulations to the coin roll hunter who came up with this beauty. A couple of beauties actually, believe it or not. So keep your coin roll hunting up. So this coin is one of two things. Either this entire side of that coin was struck through grease, which is probably not as likely, or what's more likely is that this is a capped strike. So another planchet would have been in the way, and this is, you can make out the date a little bit there, 1975 or 73 is what I'm thinking. Still has a little bit of some minty red luster in the corners, a little bit of that pink hue. Really cool piece. Not 100% sure the market on this one. I think that these trade for 50 to 75 bucks, but we'll take a closer look at that. I'm thinking about getting it graded because as long as I'm sending errors in, I have something else that I need to send in, which I thought was lots of fun. Now, on the back of this coin, you really can't see a whole lot at first blush. It just has a really cool lustrous look to it with some nice toning and color, a little dark on the edges. And then on the front of the coin, the obverse, it's like, well, I'm getting, like, is this a discotheque? What are we doing? So let's take a closer look and see exactly, whoa, now I'm really seeing double, triple, quadruple. What is going on there? Now, before you get too dizzy, I'm going to back out again for just a minute and talk about, you know, sometimes you'll see coins and they'll look like they have images over the coin twice or maybe 3 times. But lots of times what will happen is if you see a coin like that, and you'll see this stuff on eBay and stuff, so be careful, and the lettering or date is inversed or the portrait's facing the wrong way, what happened is somebody turned over a coin on top of the other coin and they hammered it down, and you know, they made the image look like it was struck multiple times, but it'll be facing the wrong way. So what can happen is a coin can get struck in the collar and get stuck in the collar and then restruck and rotate a little bit and restruck. The really rare ones are the ones where they get struck, it gets flipped over, retained in collar and struck again, so that you actually have both images correct. You know, and that is a really scarce, that's a fun error. Those are thousands of dollars on those guys. Now, what's really, really wild to me on this one is, now we're going to try to look at how many times this coin got struck. And at first, I was just looking at the word Liberty, right? And you can see clearly, especially on the Y, let me get up here with a little bit closer look and see it. Let's just look at the Y at first, okay? So you've got at least 3 Ys right there. Now the center of the coin gets a little bit smushed because it has a lot more action on it. As I look at the L, I'm in my mind seeing a whole nother strike, one up higher than that. You know, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But I thought, man, there are 3 or 4 strikes there. And then I looked at this side over here at the date, and then, you know, it kind of dawned on me that something is wrong. Something is really wrong. And for those of you who haven't caught on yet, the date's going the wrong way. So the coin, if the coin is level, maybe I'll use this for an example. Here we go. If the coin is level, and as you see the word Liberty rotate, the date, the 64 date should drop lower. But up here we've got the 64 date. You know, we have the 64 date way up here, which means the coin was struck rotated this way, and the coin was struck rotated this way. So, and maybe I'm not smart enough to know what that means. Now, maybe what that means is I'm not smart. Does that mean that the coin just kept rotating? I think it could mean that, right? So maybe you can see these different strikes, but these strikes over here headed down don't pair up with these strikes over here. So each of these strikes is a strike, but also the strikes headed the opposite direction are also strikes. And I see at least a couple strikes north of the 64. You have the one that's really distant, and then you have one that's right above it, and then you have the date, right? And so the strong date and the strong liberty are one strike. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe this coin was struck at least 5 times in the collar. And so I'm going to send this in and get it certified. You know, we'll look at the back a little bit too. Sorry about that. So the back was a lot harder to see just exactly what the details were, because you've got, you know, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. And just the way this coin struck, it almost looks like, even in person, and some things don't translate to video as well, but even in person, it's hard to see the strikes and restrikes on the back of this coin. You know, and one of the things is because as these edge lettering rotates, they stay really kind of the same distance from the edge, right? So the date and liberty are both these things that are straight across and they move. So they're easier to see. Now here, if I catch the light right, you can see some more action there from where you saw the rotation of the Lincoln Memorial. So it's on there. It's just harder to see and much harder to film. So, all right, guys, leave your comments below. Let me know if you've ever seen one of those guys before. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.